Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. We're just going to go over a little update on my shamrock plant. The real name for these are called an oxalis triangularis, and they're really easy to grow. You can see all her new foliage popping up underneath here. This is her old foliage that she had when we transplanted her. We didn't take any of it off. I love the way she looks underneath. She's got like a purplish color underneath all her leaves, and these sit in my eastern facing exposure window, getting about 6 hours of direct sun a day and then bright indirect light for the rest of the day. I only water when the soil dries completely all the way to the bottom. I go ahead and water again. They don't need to stay consistently moist, but don't let them dry out completely and stay dry because they can tend to get damaged. Their foliage will start dying off a little bit. And as these grow, as the new ones grow on the bottom, as you can see, we have so many new little leaves popping up. There's so many of them up in there, and there's lots of new ones popping up out of the soil as well. You can see them all popping up in there. And this is due to transplanting it and just giving it the right amount of room it needs to grow. You can see we also have nice flowers coming up as well. So I thought these were done flowering for the summer, but they actually started flowering again. So that's pretty cool. And if you guys want, I'll do a little update when she flowers and the flowers actually bloom, so you can see how the flowers look. And she's been growing really good. Now this one we took apart. This little plant right here, we didn't take too much apart. We just went ahead and put it in an upsize up. Now this one, we went ahead and ripped some of the rhizomes out. So these grow underneath the soil like little bulbs, like tulips would grow or something. They're little bulbs that kind of spread underneath the soil and spread out and grow, and they'll push out new foliage and new growth to come if you give them enough room. And when we put them in, you want to make sure they're standing straight up. So the way you took them out is pretty much the way you're going to put them in. The root ball down, the root side down, and then the top up. And it's really hard to tell sometimes what's the top and what's the bottom, so just try to do it to the best of your knowledge. If you check out the video I had, you'll see how we transplanted these little guys, and you can see all that new growth popping up in there. You see those little rhizomes and leaves popping up out of there? It's so cool. So I just wanted to give you guys this little update. We did have to cut some foliage off of this little guy because when we transplanted and kept taking the rhizomes apart, we damaged some of the foliage, which is normal. That's going to happen. And some people just go ahead and cut all the foliage off when they transplant. I don't. I leave it on because, you know, sometimes you're going to save a lot of the foliage, and now it doesn't have to push out all this foliage that I already have. And we already have these flowers. As you can see, these are the little flowers that push up. So that's pretty cool. And then any foliage that dies, I just go ahead all the way down to the bottom. It'll start getting like, here, let me cut this one off. Just go all the way down to the bottom and cut it off. It'll start getting like brown little edges on it. See that? It'll start getting like brown little edges on it. And that's how you know when it starts to creep up all on the leaf that you can go ahead and take that leaf. And these new ones will go ahead and replace that spot for you. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you need any help on growing these, just let me know. I did give nutrients one time last night at a 795. It's a water soluble nutrient system, and I just watered the soil all the way through, and then I treated with neem oil when I transplanted, because neem oil is going to hold back any pests and diseases that might have been lurking around in that soil when I went ahead and repotted them. And we don't want to go ahead and reinfest our inside garden, especially with as many plants as I have. You know, bringing a new plant inside with fresh soil can really damage my other plants because you don't know what's lurking on in the soil. So just go ahead and treat with like a fungicide, a pesticide, and make sure you get those bugs out of the soil before you go ahead and put it back in its location. And you guys should be good to go with, you know, not reinfesting your garden if you're dealing with bugs and stuff like that. We deal with a lot of bugs here in Florida, so neem oil, it's 100% organic, and I love to use it throughout the whole garden, throughout all my plants that I grow indoors and out, because it just works. I don't have to use anything else but that. Thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video on my shamrock plants, and get some of your own. They're really fun to grow, and they're really fun to watch close up at night. They close up into this little shape right here. You can see they kind of fold up together. They're really neat. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'll see you next time out in the garden. Bye-bye.